episode 7. It's going slow, but it's going. So I made all the rebar cages, but they need to be connected, because now if I put it in the concrete, like one side of the building can still sink, like the whole wall can sink in one piece. So you want to have a really good connection in every corner, because especially in the corners houses tend to be weaker. So yeah, that's very important. So that's a lot of rebar work, and I need to install the shock wire earthing. I have no idea what the proper word for it is. Let's call it like that. And I still need to dig, because the architect said that the concrete needs to be 40 centimeters high, and those planks are roughly 25, so I still need to dig 15 centimeters. But before I do that, I need to have everything ready, because if you dig in sand and you then wait like 2 weeks, it collapses, right? And that's not very handy. So I need to have everything ready, then I dig, then I put all the rebar in place, then I make all the corners, and I need to install like all the pillars that go vertical, that connect the foundation to the ground floor, and after that the first floor. So that is what we need to do. Then I hope to finish this video with concrete. 2 concrete trucks, they pump it all full. I vibrate the concrete with like a gigantic vibrator. Like women will be jealous on it. And then I'm happy, satisfied. That's what she said. So the idea is to get this thing welded to this, but I first have to bend this, and this is quite strong stuff. I don't have a tool to do that, so let's hack it, right? Or maybe I can just bend it by hand, actually. But that probably looks like shit, so I'm gonna weld it, gonna bend it with a jig. Shouldn't take too much time. So the idea is to put this between 2 planks. courier. Be right back. I think I will be strong enough to do it by hand, just to pull it up 90 degrees. We'll see. Should be fine. Easy. So now I have to weld this whole thing to the whole rebar, and all the rebar is connected, and that should be earth, and maybe also the lightning rod. Maybe that's the same thing. Zinc is not good for you. So when you weld, you get like gases and stuff, and probably does stuff to you that isn't good, so you have to wear a mask. But yeah, out in the open with a mask it's totally fine. So I'm gonna weld like every half meter to the big bar. You could do it here, but those little bars, they don't have the best connection with the rebar. So I think it is better to weld it on the big ones. And if you put it here I'm gonna build the wall, so yeah, it shouldn't matter, but I'm just gonna put it to the side. People on YouTube put it on the side. Ow. Okay, that's quite hot. So now over the whole line, and yeah, it looks good enough. A bit too cold here, but it's quite hard to bend this. It's springy, but all good. So that's a weld. That's slightly dangerous. Didn't notice. Like the cable went off. I kept trying and I was like, why? So that cable there, in the end, that has 100 amps. Oops. So let's fix the welder and then finish the job. Should be quite straightforward. I think it just slid off the screw. So just open it and put it back. It's a super cheap welder, but it works great. So if you have like $100 and you cannot weld now, then it's great. It's just great. Yeah, it didn't break. It was just loose. First through it. Yes. Put it on both sides of the bolt and then tighten it. I think this could have been very dangerous. I'm not sure, but as tight as I can without stripping the screw. Put this back. Oh, this was not my screw. Always the same. Why I didn't look. Ah, this one. Okay, easy peasy. So the last one I do without a mask, without the glasses, so safety squint, deep breath. Yeah, I need glasses. Yeah, good enough. So here will be a chimney for the fireplace, not the pretty one, but the fireplace for heating the house and the water, etc. So according to the drawings, it needs to be 60 wide. Does that fit? Yeah, that fits perfectly. And then it needs to overlap to this this channel. So we need here like something like, let's say 75. So 75, 75 and 60 twice, because I need a top and a bottom one. So what did I say? 75, 75 and 60 in the middle. Okay, and that's twice. And after that I need, can you see this? Yeah, so I need to connect them like this one, and it needs to be 60 wide. I don't have it, I didn't buy it from the shop, but I need only one, so I have to bend it around in a square so it's all connected. Yeah, so let's do that. Fun. Let's see how much is left. That's quite good. So we need a corner 75. Okay, good enough. Came a bit short there, but so second time. So I googled, I couldn't find it. So I have to make the square also myself. I only need one, so I think we'll be fine. So 60 wide, 30 height, 30 height, 60, 60, 60. So that's 180. And then you need a little bit overlap. So let's say 2 meters. Because you like they always make them with an overlap, so the concrete can grab the weak part twice. making it a bit stronger. This actually should be slightly longer, but let's go to the garage, because 4 corners will be a little bit harder. You cannot just do that with 2 pipes. I didn't push record, but okay, so I did it, and you just have to believe it. So after I put this one there, I put this one on the bottom, then this one goes around it, and then the second one goes like this, and that should be easily strong enough. Actually, this is the strongest one in this whole area, because normally I use the thin ones, so that should be fine. Hello. Someday I remember camera angles and all that shit, and push record, and then I will be famous someday. So the shopping list says I need 36 times 2 meters. That's for the vertical ones, because I have 9 concrete columns vertical. Every column has 4 corners, so that's 36, and they're 2 meters long. Okay, so let's do that. So they always say measure twice, forget once. I don't know if I have to cut here or there. You probably know, but I don't. So before I cut stupid. Okay, so this is 2 meters, so that's 225 then, something. Yeah. Okay, so I have to cut there. So if you wonder why there are so many forest fires, it's because of guys like me. 1 billion sparks. I have to make a quick 5-year anniversary gift for the wife, for free. I drove here with my tractor like 100 times this year, but that was fine. And then yesterday it was like a thunderstorm or something, and the flowers went a bit down. But they're still very nice, so. Never said I was good at it, but I think it looks nice. Like quite wild, big. Somewhere at the end, somewhere at the beginning of their flowering season period. So let's give it. I'm not gonna film that, sorry. That's 36 pillars. So now I have to make 24 corners, roughly 1.5 meter each. Yeah, because I have 4 corners and then later I have 4 T-shaped corners connections. So let's do those 4. Each needs 6 times an L-shaped bar. So let's make those. The grinder is a bit hot because it's only a small grinder. It's like 800 watts or 720, something like that. And heat is not good for a grinder. So let's do something else. I have good news. I have my first luxury power. Two normal sockets, one time 400 volt, I think. Must be 400. Yeah, something like that. So that's good. And these are the fuses. But first I need to put that fuse on. And today I got my key. Because the electrician, I think from the energy provider needs to sign off something. Then he gives you the key, because that box is there already for like, I don't know, like a year or something, but I don't know. Stuff needed to be done, but now I have the key and I can use it. At least if it works, I don't know yet. I assume it works. First time right, no? So that says don't touch. That's great advice. Okay. So that says 0. That is, I don't know, but this is on. TNC. I don't know what's actually in this. Maybe that's the internet. So I will never know. I'm not allowed to. At least I don't have the key for it. So I guess I'm not allowed to touch it. So let's see if it actually works. Otherwise my wife has to call someone, because it's all in Polish. Yeah, I should seriously learn Polish, because my wife has to do a lot of administration stuff. Call people, scream at them that something doesn't work. Nah, almost never. Most of the time it just works, but you know, builders, suppliers, they're not always punctual. So let's see if my grinder works. I don't like to touch fuses, to be honest. Definitely not the first time. It's probably a mental thing, but I'm gonna wear gloves. There's probably no good reason to do that, but doing it anyway. assume that it's 3 phase because it has 3, so that has to be 1 phase. That part worked. That's not good. Okay, so that's main fuse. That is fuse for that, I guess. Anyway, they all need to go up. Good to know. Power. So let's do something else again. So I just cut those corners. Now I need to make the rebar for all the T-shaped corners. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The T-shaped corners only needs 4 L-shaped rebar thingies, and the corners need 6. And I will show you later how to install those. When that is done, I need to cut all those stones because I need spacers for the rebar to sit on, because the rebar cannot touch the ground. It needs to be suspended in the air like 5 centimeters above the sand at least, and 5 centimeters above. The rebar needs to be also cement, so that the rebar is totally in cement. Makes sense, I guess. It's just that's what the book says, so that's what I do. And the good thing about that electricity box is currently, and now you can see it, but far that way, like let's say 100+ meters is a house. There the power goes to a garage, and from the garage it goes to the workplace. From the workplace I have an extension cable to here, that's again 50 meters. Then that black one goes to the extension cable here, the green one, what is another 10 meters or something. That's not good. I don't use a lot of power on the cable, so that should be fine, but basically between me and the house fuse is 50, 60, something like 100, 120, 130 meters, and then to the main fuse of the whole house is another 20 meters, so it's like 150 meters. It's a bit much. And yeah, now it's 10, so I can use way more power, so that's the good news. So let's cut the last rebar and then bend them. I feel like my life is sometimes a little bit repetitive with building, but we'll get there. There, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 3 short. But still have some old stuff. Let's take the 3 best ones from here. I will grind the surface rust off. That's totally fine. As long as it's like not deeply pitted, it's totally fine. yeah, so I thought I'm gonna just all bend them here, but I changed my mind. It's not the best for my back to do it with a pipe on the ground like I did before. So I'm gonna get the tractor, I load them all up, drive to Stadoa, bend them all, bring them back. Those corners are also slightly better in the Stadoa is actually the workplace in Polish. I mix a lot of languages because I'm originally Dutch, but for my work I mainly speak English. I even speak English to Dutch people for some reason. Sometimes forget to switch back, and then here I have to speak Polish, but my Polish sucks. And then a lot of people think I'm German, but I'm not. So the important thing is I'm not German. So yeah, so I get the tractor, I'll load this up, be right back. So I thought in the time that I looked that way that I come up with a joke, but nothing. I do one day put the GoPro there at the end of the fence, and in the night when there's a lot of moonlight, it probably doesn't work with a GoPro because it has a small sensor, but I just want to see the deer. Or maybe on a summer day when the sun comes up at 4 something here, I just put it there and see what the deers are doing, and then fast forward it like 50 times. Then you see the deer like go. Could be fun. So the reason there are no deer, not so many deer anymore here, is because this fence, but also there in the back I finished the whole fence, and the deer tend to come from the forest there really far, and then they walked this way, and then they were like, hey, I cannot get out. So very often in the morning I busted them stealing my water. Like, you give them a hand and they take your whole arm. But yeah, so they were here drinking quite often, especially in the spring. Nowadays not so much, there's also not so much water, but yeah, it took them a while. Sometimes I busted one here and they started running around, so then they went in the wrong direction because there you cannot get out. So then they tend to walk through over the whole border till they saw this fence, and then they run out. But it's quite cool to have deer. I'm considering when the house is done to keep the door, keep the gate open for a couple of times, and maybe when you're lucky you wake up with a deer looking into the living room. At least that's one of my I don't want to say a dream, but it's something I would like to experience. So yeah, getting off track, back to work, bending rebar. Fun. Fun. It's better than digging. Put it all here nice. I thought I will measure it one more time, and I was like, how can I make such a big mistake? So I look at it, and I'm like, it's all fine. I almost considered cutting off like 40 centimeters everywhere. And that would have not been smart. Okay, let's get bending. Let's get bending, is that a saying? I'm not sure if that's a saying, but I'm gonna put you guys here. Okay. So 72 goes there. Then I take the pipe. Let me see if you also can see that. Yes. The pipe has one flat side that makes the corner a bit tighter, and one bigger side that makes the corner a bit wider. Pregnant wife, I think I should answer. Ah, no, not pregnant wife. No.
Słuchaj, jest tam gdzieś koło Grześka jesteś?
Nie wiem, jestem do stodoła. Grzesiek jest...
A Grzesiek jest za drogą.
Okej.
Powiesz co, bo Krystian idzie za nami.
Ale Krystian, koniec do Stęczów 1, do Gęsi.
I myślisz, że zawróci?
Tak.
No dobra. Dobra, no znana się. Jak nie zawróci, to będę dzwonić, pójdziesz do Grześka i Grzesiek weźmie rowerem, podjedzie i go zbierze.
No, okej. Pa. Linguistic, that's the word. One. Should bend it slightly less, I noticed. No worries, I'm not gonna show this 100 times. No. Where is he already? Okay. Okay. We have a cat that when you walk with the dog, the cat follows. Very social cat, I guess. But when you walk far, like a couple of kilometers, the cat just walks with you for a couple of kilometers. And when there's a big dog coming, because in Poland a lot of people have big dogs in the village, it's maybe not so nice. So the cat needs to be picked up. So I say too often so. That's very Dutch too. A lot of Dutch people start a sentence in English with so. So, those are the length for the pillars. They are not very wide. They should be something like 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Something like 8 inches in fairy tale measurements. But I don't know where I need to bend this actually, I have to Google. Because most of it goes vertical and then a small bit will be horizontal. Because like the pillar has mainly forces going like this or like that. So the feet needs to be connected to the horizontal rebar, like the foundation. But I'm not sure if like the bend needs to be after like 40 centimeters or 50. So yeah, I have to Google that. And then the rest goes vertical to ground floor, and then at the ground floor you connect another rebar, you overlap it, like it has to be half meter overlap. You tie them together and then you go to the first floor. Because you cannot have like a rebar of 5 meters going vertical without any support. So you first do this, and when this is in the concrete and stable and strong, you connect a new piece of rebar that goes further up. But I think it's a great excuse for me to stop for today, Google a bit, because it's not that late, but it's like 9 p.m. Perfect time to stop. See you tomorrow. This is actually the right thickness, so that should work. So hammer is faster. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. I have there 10. Ten more. Last thing before the concrete. Let's do that. At least last thing. One of the last things. So everything has to be 40 deep. It's now 25 deep. And this is my jig. So here you can see that I still need to dig 2 centimeters. And then that is done. Then with that jig I have to walk the whole foundation to check everywhere if it's 40 deep, because most of the spaces are 25. So I have to dig. After that, rebar in, connect all the rebar together, make pillars, call bouwmeister, like building chef, something like that. And there I have to dig 2 hoses in, so the water can go through a tube and electricity can go to a tube. And then you call the cement factory that you say you want cement. I think that is in the next episode. I thought I would do it in this one. Probably not. Probably not. Pretty sure not, because I'm gonna say goodbye. Bye.